Las Vegas. When I was home, I mostly ate out with some combination of my 5 roommates. At Regina Pizzeria in the North End, TGI Fridays on Exeter Street, Durgan Park or Crickets at Faneuil Hall. One day I found myself alone in the apartment, a rare experience with so many roommates. I remember enjoying the pleasure of drinking coffee in my little twin bed and not having to talk to anyone, give love advice, or hear complaints about passengers. By noon, I was hungry. If my mother didn't send me home after a visit to Rhode Island with a lasagna or a bag of meatballs, I had nothing to eat. So I dressed and went to Faneuil Hall, where I ordered a ham and cheese sandwich from one of the shops there. $11, the woman said as she handed me a white bag with my sandwich and a pickle inside. $11? I shrieked. Or maybe I didn't say it out loud. All I know is that I made a vow to never again pay that much for something I could surely make myself. A friend had given me Betty Crocker's cookbook for my college graduation the year before, and I methodically worked my way through those recipes, ruining more dinners than I can count. Soon I was clipping recipes from the newspaper and buying other cookbooks. Moosewood, Laurel's Kitchen, the New York Times 60-Minute Gourmet. Over the next few years, I taught myself to cook. Sometimes I reached too far. Stuffed pork chops with apple compote, whole wheat pizza that I could have used for a doorstop. But slowly I learned how to make an omelet and scramble eggs, use leftover chicken for curried chicken salad, make a stock from the chicken bones. By the time I was married and raising a family, I was a good home cook. As in the household in which I grew up, life at my house revolved around the kitchen. Something was always simmering or roasting or marinating. But unlike in my childhood home, my kids stood on stools right beside me, sprinkling shredded Gruyere on potatoes for an au gratin, layering slices of apples for a crisp, whipping cream, or chopping vegetables. One of those kids, my son, Sam, grew up and moved to Brooklyn, where he makes dinners for his friends. Spaghetti amatriciana, or risotto, or chicken chili. One of those kids, my daughter Grace, died when she was only 5, already the expert apple crisp maker in our family. One of those kids, my 14-year-old daughter Annabelle, lives with me across town from her father in a loft in a converted factory, where every night I cook her favorite food, roast chicken, rice and peas, homemade macaroni and cheese. And we sit together at our table that my friend Steve made for me, and we eat together. It seems to me, M.F.K. Fisher wrote, that our 3 basic needs, for food and security and love, are so mixed and mingled and entwined that we cannot straightly think of one without the others. So it happens that when I write about hunger, I am really writing about love and the hunger for it. This is how my culinary life began, in a big, noisy family, in rooms overflowing with people and food, with the rustic peasant food of our village. But even in the midst of this, no one ever taught me how to cook. Kitchen Yarns is my journey from that family and that childhood, through my early efforts at cooking, flank steak marinated in good seasoned salad dressing to impress a boy I liked in college, pesto made with 2 cups of dried basil, to diligently copying recipes from the Silver Palette cookbook as a young single woman living in New York City, to trying to make the perfect spaghetti carbonara like the one I ate in Rome on a layover as a TWA flight attendant. Eventually, I became a very good home cook, throwing elaborate dinner parties and cooking in the kitchen with my own children. Today, I'm married to the food writer, Michael Ruhlman, who has taught me how to properly dice an onion and make chicken stock in the oven while I sleep, and who mixes me his recipe for whiskey sours at the end of a long day. I realized as over the years I wrote essays about food, Laurie Colwin's tomato pie, my father's mac and cheese, that as MFK